As we walk into the fall, I want to take us to a passage that if you went to a wedding this summer, you probably heard. It's a famous passage, but because it's famous, oftentimes we don't experience the power of it, and we don't sit with it long enough for it to really sift our lives. And what I mean by that is, the purpose of Rhythms is for these passages to seep down into the cracks and crevices of our lives, for it to not just inform us, but for it to transform us. And so I want to take you back to this passage, and as we move through this month, I want for us to ask, okay, are these things true about us? Because God, as He steps into our life, He says, this is what love looks like. And if we're going to become like Him, then we have to continue to grow in our understanding and our practice of love. 1 Corinthians 13 starts off and says this. It says, if I could speak all the languages of earth and of angels, but didn't have love, I would only be a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. He says, doesn't matter the knowledge that I have. If I don't have love, I'm just making noise. He says, if I had the gift of prophecy and if I understood all of God's secret plans and possessed all knowledge, if I had such faith that I could move mountains but didn't love others, I'd be nothing. If I gave everything I have to the poor and even sacrificed my body, I could boast about it. But if I didn't love others, I will have gained nothing. And that's so powerful. He says, you can do whatever you want. You can do the greatest things possible that look like loving others, but if they're not motivated by love, you have nothing. And then he begins to break this down for us. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It's not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wrong. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. Love never gives up, never loses faith, is always hopeful, and endures through every circumstance. Prophecy and speaking in unknown languages and special knowledge will become useless, but love will last forever. Now our knowledge is partial and incomplete, and even the gift of prophecy reveals only part of the whole picture. But when the time of perfection comes, these partial things will become useless. When I was a child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child. When I grew up, I put away childish things. Now we see things imperfectly, like puzzling reflections in a mirror. But then we will see everything with perfect clarity. And all that I know is partial and incomplete. But then I will know everything completely, just as God knows me completely. 3 things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest of these is love. And as he comes to the end, he walks us through, okay, this is what love looks like. He says, and the reality is that we don't know it fully yet. We see pieces of it. We see pieces of the puzzle. We haven't experienced it fully. One day we're going to experience it fully. We're going to know it fully. But until then, we're working to grow in it. We're working to grow up in our understanding and practice of love. And so I want to challenge us to do that as we sit with this passage this month, and to ask, okay, am I being patient? Am I kind? Am I irritable? And for us to move through each day and to ask God, okay, which of these can I focus on today? Which of these can I work on practicing today to be more like you? To demonstrate more the way that you love me. And you know what's amazing about this? As you practice these things, not only will you grow in your understanding and practice of love, but you will grow in your understanding of how God loves you. And you'll see how all of these things are perfectly true of Him. We don't even realize how perfectly true they are. We haven't even seen the fullness. We're still seeing through, he says, an imperfect picture. But one day we'll see it fully. And as you practice it, you'll see it more and more. Not only how to love, but how you are loved. And that's my prayer for you this month.